Hello, I'm Samantha from St. Francis of Assisi School, and I'll be sharing my talk on racism. It is not our differences that divide us, it is the lack of ability to recognise, accept, and celebrate those differences. This is a quote from Adair Lord, a British writer who believed that racism is unpleasant to the victim. Imagine that you're walking into school and you're really excited, but when you walk through those doors, someone comes up and asks you why you're a different colour to them. But the thing is, we are all equal, and we have our differences, and we need to embrace it, whether we are coloured or not. Have you ever been judged on your race? In America, racism has been prevalent throughout history. In the 1950s and 1960s, struggles were made to let coloured people have the same equal rights as white people. But after the civil wars have ended, the effects of racism are still ongoing in everyday lives for around the world for coloured people. We have people who care about others' well-being, and then we have those who try to bring them down. We need to stand strong and not listen to those who try to bring you down. And if we see this happen, be an upstander and give others the confidence to stand up for themselves. Has anyone ever bullied you at school because of your colour? Well, around 1 out of 5, or 20% of children around America have been bullied because of their race. A study showed that in Toronto, Canada, coloured students noticed that they are being treated differently because they weren't getting the same attention as other students, who were surprisingly a different colour to them. They felt left out and unnoticed or felt invisible. They thought no one understood them because everyone judged them by what they looked like and not what was in the inside. Many students around the world feel pressured because someone bullies them because of their race, and they end up making this child feel stressed and tense and leaving them not want to go back to school. Have you ever been asked where you came from? If you have, how did that play out? Or are you accused of being the wrong colour? Well, that's something that happens, and it happens more than you think. You could come from Africa, which 79% of the country is populated by black people, and you're part of the 21% who are white. People can and most likely will judge you because of that, and they'll think that they can take advantage of you since you don't actually know how you should be. You can't accuse you of anything or let them take advantage of you. You can't control where you came from. People think Asians are bad drivers, that black people are dangerous, and that if you come from a different country, you'll be bad at English. But this isn't the case. Racism goes on all around the world, and it isn't good. Imagine if you're just sitting on a bench, minding your own business. Then someone goes and makes a racist comment to you, but they're not actually intentionally trying to hurt you. This is called casual or unconscious racism. This happens when you might say a joke or comment about a different race, and you don't see how it can hurt someone. But it can. It can hurt anyone, anywhere around the world. And they could think that you're joking about them. In the late 16th century, a Dutch ship escorted 20 Africans into Europe. They left their lives in Africa to a life of slavery because of rapidly growing colonies that then shortly spread to the US. People then started bringing in the strongest and ablest men and women for slavery, making them leave their children behind because of the world's greed. In the world, some of the main types of discriminations are racism, sexism, ableism, and there are still many others. And I will touch base with two of the important types of discrimination. Let's start with sexism. So stereotypically, we've been told that pink is a girl colour and blue is a boy colour, and that girls should play with dolls and make-believe kitchens, and that boys should play with trucks and Legos. But this isn't right. From a young age, children are being stereotyped. Even some brand stereotype, like pens. They make pens for him and her. Hers are either pink or purple, and his are either blue or green. Girls aren't treated fairly either. As a woman, if you're going into a job, you're looking for the best pay possible. But a man who has the same job as you could be earning up to 30% more income, and you don't even know about it. Thankfully, people are trying to encourage women to get their rights back. But for now, we really need to help out. Now, onto ableism. Lately, I've watched a movie based on a true story called Walk, Ride, Rodeo. It's about a girl called Amberly Snyder, a barrel racer who lives in Utah. Born in 1991, the 28-year-old was paralyzed in 2010. She was bedded to a wheelchair for the rest of her life, but her main goals were to walk, ride, rodeo. She was able to overcome her disability and prove others wrong. She was able to get back onto her horse and race, and she ended up winning the American, which is a barrel race competition, and she was nominated as fan favorite. She is still able to help out her mum and dad with her 5 younger siblings and help her younger sister with riding, as she is her idol. Black or white, we are still all the same, and if you can't see it, open your eyes. We all need to see the difficulties others face. If you see someone being hurt, stand up, help them out, because it only takes one small action to make a huge impact. So, what would you do? Would you be an upstander and help others out? Or would you be a bystander and let anything happen to an innocent person? We are the people that God created, and in His vision, we are perfect the color we are.